massive. Can you hear me? Oh, I wonder. If I can be heard. Oh, I wonder. Yes. If I can be heard. Yes.
Became the youngest winner of a GP at just 18 years and 228 days old when he won the 2016 Spanish GP.
Okay. So, I can't hear shit at all. And Massive is not in here yet. But I hear no game audio. And that's just the way it is with this version of the game, I guess. All right. Welcome, everybody, to Formula Worldwide Leagues. Yes, you heard that right. Formula West Leagues has now become Formula Worldwide Leagues. If you've missed the news that dropped earlier this week, we have expanded and are launching 2 new European-based divisions on Fridays and Saturdays, 8 p.m. BST for the British folks. Turns out to be about 3 p.m. Eastern. And, yeah, that's the big news. But I can't hear anything in this game. Massive, can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, I can hear you now, for sure. I'm gonna throw this on and verify if that's... Oh, well, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Oh, well, that's interesting. Massive, why don't you... Yeah, I was going to say, just go ahead and start saying something to see if I can hear it on the stream or not. Massive, why don't you... Yeah, I was going to say, just go ahead and start saying something to see if I can... Well, that is a fantastic investment. I thank you very much. What is the $58 that is required to make this magic happen? Oh, so you purchased the game for... Okay, I get it. Silly me, I think when you buy the game, you just get to play it on whatever platform you have. But no, that's obviously not the case, so... No, not the EA way. Well, and to be fair, that's not the way in general. When you've got different platforms, it's just like music and movies. If you buy it on Google, you can't watch it on Apple. Vice versa, that kind of crap. So anyway, but great. Yes, that I agree. I think that's a reasonable thing to ask of a company, saying, "Hey, I'm going to buy another copy of this game, but can I at least get like a few bucks off, maybe 50%, something like that?" Maybe because we're on TSN tonight, The gods at EA will hear us and actually implement an idea just like that. That's an in. I was just about to say that's a bit of an inside joke. First, because TSN is the sports network in Canada. I slipped up there. For the Canadian folks who listen or watch, they'll understand that slip where I said from Toronto instead of from Canada, because when we first had sports channels, like a few years after you guys first got ESPN, like the cable channels, those premium channels, we had TSN, but they always talked about the Blue Jays or the Maple Leafs or the Argonauts, which is our CFL football team, and the rest of the country didn't really get the top billing on the sportscasts, because Toronto's the biggest city in the country and we had the most professional sports teams, I guess. So, but the rest of the Canadians were sour about it, so then they started calling it the Toronto Sports Network. And granted, if you're not a Leafs fan and you're forced to watch Leafs coverage all the time, I wouldn't blame you, because it's, as a Leafs fan, it's painful to see that them never win anything. So, but I digress. In what regards specifically? Like from a sports? I mean, really, the honest truth is we're not that different when it comes to culture and entertainment. I mean, there's definitely some differences, right? Canadians very much like hockey, way more than any other professional sport, right? But there are plenty of Canadians who love NFL football and NBA basketball. Baseball is an easy one since I grew up in Toronto, and the Jays got good really fast, won 2 championships in a row. I mean, that translates into a lot of interest in the country. So baseball's become a bit of a big thing in Canada over the past 4 decades, right? Because of that. But really, we're not that much different from you guys. We're all watching the same shows. Some of them are even recorded up here, and then you get to pick out neighborhoods you're in. So, like the first season of Fargo, I just finished watching that with Ms. Jim Cab, and it was filmed in Calgary. So I was like, "Hey, I know that place. that's a Dollarama now." Things like that, So. Yeah, it's got like 5 seasons already. Chris Rock is one of the latest seasons. Every season is an independent story too, so it's on its own. All right. Loosely, same concept but different stories. Although the first season is based like around Fargo, Minnesota, all in that particular area. But I don't know about the other seasons, if they're still in that general area or if they're in different places. I have no idea. Okay. We're like 8 minutes into qualifying. We haven't said a thing about this race already tonight, so it's so funny. Love it. It's just qualifying. Yeah, exactly. We got a full grid tonight. Let me see who's here as reserves. Pac-Man is here as a reserve. Mr. Heat Gang, my teammate in Ferrari, he is here as a reserve tonight. Let's see. I think that might be it. Yeah, I think that might be it for reserves tonight. So I would like to see if I can solve this problem, because I don't think the league Twitch is catching your audio. So there we go. I'm going to click on that and see if that changes things. I'll go back to this part on my computer. Audio. So there we go. So if you have a second. Well, it's weird because when you go to the party, there's a little checkbox that says include my audio. So I just clicked on that a couple minutes ago. Because when you go to the party, there's a little checkbox that says include my audio. So I just clicked on that a couple minutes ago. Because when you go to the party, well, why don't you go to the party and see if that checkbox is there for you as well? Oh, okay. So you don't have that option. Why don't you go? Okay. All right. Sounds good. Get back to the racing action here, and we'll hear from Massive in just a few moments. So, all right, all sorts of madness. So, I am still experiencing a technical difficulty of my own, which is that in my headset hear no game audio, so none of the famous noises of the Formula One vehicles this year. So, I'm just going to wing it. I'm just going to wing it and see how that goes. But welcome, everyone, once again. Friday Night Lights Round 2 is what you are watching right now after we've spent, I don't know, 10 minutes talking about Canadian culture and TV shows and other crap like that. But before Massive jumped in and had his technical issues, we again reiterated that we have expanded Formula West League, so that is now Formula Worldwide Leagues, and we will be soon starting 2 new divisions that run on Fridays and Saturdays that will be European based. A lot of new drivers to the Discord server. We've got folks from the UK, of course. We've got folks from France, Norway, I believe I believe there's some folks that maybe they don't live in Russia, but they might be from Russia. So I can't remember all the other countries. I'll have to go and check it out. But yeah, if you're catching this and you're from Europe and you'd like to get in on some of this action, well, we now have racing divisions that will cater to your time zones, because it will be 8 p.m. BST on Fridays and Saturdays. So jump on the Discord, or I don't know how you would be able to plug a Discord without giving out something, a URL. So figure it out. Ping us ping us on the chat, or if you're watching this on YouTube, drop a message in the comments below. Hit that bell and smash that button, right? Something like that. So yeah, we're growing. That's basically the big message. We're growing, and we're growing crazy fast. And we might even have an F2 series relaunching sooner than we expected. So keep an eye out for all of that fun stuff. So we got 5 minutes and 25 seconds left in the qualifying session. Sketchy, of course, is in the lead with a 1:15.2, but Curtis is out. This might be his in lap. He is second with a 1:15.8. T-Ball is third with a 1:15.9. Everybody's in the pits. I don't know what the weather is going to be like. It's looking kind of cloudy here, so maybe there's a chance of rain. I'll have to jump. Let me see if there's anybody can say so in the Discord here. And we have a bit of a, hey, Massive, can you hear me again? I saw you jump back in, so. Okay, cool. Hey, Massive, can you hear me again? I saw you jump back in. You're still not coming through on the broadcast for some reason. It's annoying. While I'm at it, I'm going to try to figure out why I can't hear game audio at all. Let's see if I can fix that. Oh, that would be why. Well, that's silly. Why was it down like that? That's crazy. There we go. Oh, but it's really loud. That's probably why. Well, maybe I'll just turn this down because I don't need to hear myself. I don't think so. I had the chat mixer so that the game audio was completely off, so that's why I couldn't hear any audio, game audio. But I never said it like that, so it's weird that it was like that. So, or maybe I did and I just forgot. Who knows? I went back to the party, and it was like that. So, or maybe I did and I just forgot. Who knows? Why don't you try saying something now and see how that works? Why don't you try saying something now and see how that works? All right, well, I can't see where we're going wrong, Massive, but we'll just go ahead and maybe somebody can wrangle up some magic and combine all this shit together sometime. Oh, what an idiot. I think it's all me. Did you just get a message saying I'm streaming your audio?
Just clicked include my audio. Let's see if it's working out.
Yeah, there it is. I can hear it now.
All right.
Hooray! With 2 minutes left in qualifying. Surprise! Oh, so what happened to Curtis there? Oh, it looks. Did Curtis just retire? Or did something happen to him and he crashed out? I think he might have just retired, which is interesting. Maybe didn't have enough to put a second push lap, but I mean, he's at 1:15.849. He's 0.6 off of Sketchy. T-Ball is in the pits, so he's not going to be able to top that time anytime soon. He just came in, so I think he's safe there. The only one he has to worry about then is Italian in the Haas. Italian is in the Haas and currently sitting at 4th with a 1:16.1.
Now I
we'll
got
ride on board with him and see.
I got
Sorry,
a
go
question
ahead.
for
What's
you.
your question?
Oh shit! I just saw Scarther put it into a wall.
Oh no.
So I brought this up a few times, and I don't mean to single out the guy, but I know you remember when Logical Terror was always at the top. What happened?
Okay, so Sketchy kind of happened. F122 happened. He was one of a number of drivers, including myself, who were like, I can't deal with this game anymore. I actually stopped playing. He didn't bail on the season entirely like I did, but plus he also had some things going on. I think he was in the middle of a move last season, so there was a lot of back and forth travel he was doing from New York to wherever he ended up, and I'm totally drawing a blank where he moved to, but yeah, so he missed a bunch of races. So yeah, the battle just ended up being between Sketchy and Gifted for the most part. So Italian retires in the pits with just a little bit of time left, and drops to 6th as Mr. Heat Gang puts up a 1:15.92, followed by Ivaz putting up a 1:15.93. So 1/100th or 1900ths or 19,000ths of a second, sorry, separating 5th and 6th place. The only other person who could potentially dethrone anybody here is going to be Harmless Target in the Red Bull. He's currently 8th with a 1:16.234. He is just coming around that hairpin, the first of the 2 hairpins. But those are those classified hairpins? I would call those hairpins. Don't you think?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if he moved up. I wasn't paying attention. So, Logical's down here in 12th in the AlphaTauri. Looks like he is on an in lap, so nothing is going to come from that. Either that or he got tangled with a teammate. That wouldn't make sense. Ibaz is on an out lap or an in lap after his. So, I mean, it looks like we've got our grid set here with Sketchy in first, Gifted in second, Curtis Chaos in third. That's the change there that we didn't catch while I was paying attention to the midfield. The Gifted moved himself into second place on the front row. Fiddy Cent is talking about quitting. Don't quit, man.
Based on what?
I don't want to quit.
Quit based on what?
I guess he's qualified 17th. So Scarthers and Pac-Man were disqualified. I'd like to know what happened there.
Scarthers was disqualified after he spun into the wall, and
yeah, this game is really trigger happy when it comes to being turned around. I've noticed that. But there you go. We have a full grid today, and we have our top three. Sketchy and Gifted on row 1, Curtis Chaos and T-Ball on row 2, Mr. Heat Gang and Evaz on row 3, Italian and Harmless on row 4, and Silencer as a reserve and capacity on row 5. Let's see if Race Director works today. Yay, look at that. Now, see, I don't know. Have you noticed this bug, Massive? There's, when you're in the race and you try to go to the race incidents, to Race Director Incidents tab, and it's just blank. But I do notice that it works when you're in qualifying. So just another bug to point out.
interesting, because I've been there a few times, and I see it's blank, and I'm like, there's no fucking way.
Okay, well, this is very upsetting. No capture for me today. That's dumb. I don't know why it doesn't do that. It's very strange. Hopefully one of the backup folks is going to get the data capture for today. Look at that. The sun is out in Hungary for the race. So this should be a fun time today. The full grid, clear skies. What are you thinking? Turn 1's going to be a disaster? Somebody going to send it from the back? Are we going to see some clean racing here today?
For our sake,
fast guys.
For our sake, man, I hope somebody sends it from P20 all the way into P1. But for the sake of these guys, I hope not.
Yes. Indeed. I got distracted with something here, and I forgot what I was going to go for. Is X on the grid? Did he miss the race today? I think he might have missed it. No, maybe he's not.
He's there.
18th, possibly. Yeah, he is there? Okay.
I remember he was repping the Jamaican flag. He's there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I see him. He's in 18th, I guess. Didn't really set up a lap. He won last week's race. Of course, you know that you were here. So after round 1, X, we don't have a Sketchy Bull in the lead. We have X hits the spot in the lead, but round 2, he's going to have a lot of work coming up from the rear there. But is that by design? Maybe he just like, I'm going to just sit back here, right? I'm just going to sit back here and, yeah.
Maybe
wait
he's
for
just
the
that
carnage to
confident.
happen. Maybe.
And if I recall correctly, and I know that you can check me on this, I know you're up to date on the standings, Sketchy's not even in second, he's in third, right?
Correct. Yeah, because Curtis came in second in the McLaren last week, and Sketchy came in third, and then Harmless stole the fastest lap. But because Friday Night Lights follows this, as of this season, Friday Night Lights has returned to its origins, which is following the in real life Formula One scoring system. So only points from 1st to 10th, only a fastest lap if you're in the top 10. And look at that. We don't have a formation lap, I think. Or did we do we're doing a formation lap. So hopefully we don't have that disqualification bug that occurs. So let's just keep our fingers crossed, I guess.
Oh, shit, yeah. So what was the point system last season?
So the point system last season and the point system continues in WTF and in TNC on Tuesday is points from 1st to 16th. First is still 25, but then it went 21, 18, and then 16, 14, 12, 10, and then single digits until you hit 16th points, 16th place. Fastest lap would be awarded so long as you finished the race. For a point, and pole was a point, and we're still continuing that, but the race directors with Friday Night's Lights had requested, they said, well, this is the top tier, this is the top division, we want to we don't want to be giving away free points. Top 10 gets points just like in the real life. And I'm like, I'm good with that, because I'm never going to be racing on Friday Night Lights. So
These are the same guys that are saying no to Andretti's joining the grid. They just want to be the 20 of them, keeping it pure.
I don't know. Some of the folks in here are pretty keen to see Andretti join the grid. I don't buy it for a second that we're going to have 12 teams within the next 5 years. There's not a chance. I know. I mean, I'll eat my maybe I'll eat my words, but
look, as a Cadillac owner,
it.
I want to see a Cadillac team on the grid.
I mean, that would be pretty sweet. I'm not opposed to it at all. I just think it's more likely that maybe a team will decide to partner with them, or an investor, or a sponsor is deciding to just bail. Like Alfa Romeo, right? Like they're like, yeah, we're done. They're going to bounce. It's going to be Sauber next year. And then, okay, here we go. We've got 3 people disqualified from the session. Let's see if that's just the normal disqualification or if they actually get punted from the race. I don't see lights on yet, but the game is ready to go. What did that? Capacity Rex we got 5 red lights. Lights go out. The field gets underway. All 20 cars have been avoiding the massive problem. Sketchy leading the pack into turn 1. We've already got some action in the back. Oh, we got 4 cars disqualified in the back. That is we're going to have a lobby reset. Gonna have to have a lobby reset. Lobby reset.
So while we are in the process of restarting all this stuff, I'm going to do what I always do for the fans that might be watching, which, by the way, twitch.tv/Massive Noogies. If you're looking to have 2 views, that's the way to do it.
Absolutely.
I'm going to keep my view further in the back of the grid while JIMCAB watches all the hot action at the front. That way we're not watching the same thing, because then it just gets kind of redundant.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, it's good that everybody... Whoa, cars. Did you see that? Did that show that for you too? I'm looking at the grid, and there's like there's a disintegrated car on the grid. Like,
this is great.
That was awesome. Oh, I gotta see that. Oh no, it's all gone now. There's like 4 cars parked in the... What corner is that? Oh, it's so hilarious to see all the cars on the map. Oh man, I couldn't even catch up with it. It just moves so fast. Craziness.
Yep, well, you called it. They opted for the formation lap, and we knew that was going to go to shit real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, we did, unfortunately. Oh, brother. There's not enough players in this session. Well, what do you say? All right.
Curtis says, did they fix the formation lap? Is it just an overall general bug, or if you are disqualified on the formation lap, you get disqualified from the race? Has anyone noticed?
So when they brought that in, what was that? Not last game, but the game before. Sorry, I'm just completely getting distracted with messages here. But they, there was an issue that's been noted in this game. In
Right.
last year's game, if you overshot your mark, right, you'd get disqualified at the grid. But then
Right.
the race would start and you would just go and it would be fine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It appears that in this year's game, that if you miss, like if you overshoot your mark in on the grid, then it looks like that you're getting disqualified from the race as a whole.
But you know what? These guys are top tier. I think if you miss your grid spot, you're out. I'm just kidding.
Uh,
That's a joke. I wasn't being serious.
I mean, in the real world, what happens if you overshoot your grid? Then you get a penalty, right?
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't understand if that's what they're trying to do with the game, which I there's no indication that there is. That's the intent. I think it's a true bug. Yeah, I think it's a bug, and if they really did want to make it real, so that if you overshoot your grid, then you just get a penalty instead. So
I wouldn't be opposed to that. I think it would be kind of neat, actually.
yeah, I mean it makes sense if you're introducing that feature because right that was was it last year that we got the grid, or was it 2021 where they introduced the grid lining up? I think it was last year.
Yeah, I think
it
it
was
was 22.
Yeah. So I could see it happening eventually, right? I mean, they got to fix a whole bunch of other shit, but while we're redoing this, don't get in the alpha. We had a bit of a snafu there, so we'll sort that out. I don't know who has... I'll have to get the grid order. Gifted, do you need the grid order? Let me ask Gifted. T-ball. We're waiting on T-ball.
I'm going to restart my Twitch stream.
Okay.
So much easier to do on the Xbox.
This is why redundancy is key. My application didn't pick up the qualifying results, but Steven's did, and he's already sent them to me.
Oh, good.
So thank you very much, Steven. You are a legend.
You're a real
Downloads
MVP,
folder.
Steve.
Oh yeah, he's always got my back when it comes to data dumps for the analytics. Now I know I'm gonna have to change some names here because it's being it's assigning people. Okay, I gotta get the grid for gifted, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go in here. Should probably mute my mic or my computer so that everybody doesn't hear the million Discord pings that happen. You just gotta love this game, right?
It's definitely quirky.
Yeah. Well, well, well. It's a bit tough to be able to do this, like commentating while I'm also trying to.
Oh, they got the formation lab still on.
Do they really?
Broadcast. It's on broadcast.
Oh, it's on broadcast. Yeah, we've tried it on broadcast and it does work, despite some people thinking it's going to get stupid. But anyway, I'm going to add some folks in here.
I'm only counting 18.
Oh, yeah?
We lose some folks?
Not superstitious, but in the long and fruitful history of F1, no one with the surname Hill has ever failed in winning a
Game just crashed. For
Yeah.
like a few people.
We ran into
Jesus.
this problem last night.
Jesus. Did you have to restart the lobby again?
Yes, we
Yeah,
did.
who's missing? Okay, Pac-Man has just bowed out. So I guess we're just waiting for Gifted to get the give the go ahead. Excuse me. Giving everybody some time to get their tires all set up and everything, setups and all that fun jazz. And since I'm sitting here waiting on the grid, I'm gonna see if I can add in the missing drivers that we have here today. Who's in the Ferrari? Mr. Heat Gang. Mr. Heat Gang needs to be added. Mr. Heat Gang is a new driver. He has actually started out in WTF. He was drafted for Division 2, and he's quickly shown his pace and is now a reserve for Friday Night Lights. So that's some exciting news for him and for the Ferrari team. Massive. You want to hear something funny? If you haven't watched the Tuesday Night Challengers race from earlier this week, round 1 in Silverstone, I was racing in the Ferrari. I was ahead of my teammate, but not by much, like one or two positions. And the Ferrari strategy became our real world because they double stacked us for no good reason.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
No, I mean, of course not. But it's just so funny that this thing just continues to happen. It's wild. It's some crazy shit. So
They do try to keep things as real as possible in the game, so I gotta give them credit.
yeah, I mean, hey, you're not wrong there. That's for sure. So it is what it is, I guess. It's just some funny shit. That's all.
The formation lap gets underway then, and it's going to be interesting today.
All
See how
right.
the track conditions-
All right, so we have 18 drivers, not 20. I do know that Pac-Man has bounced because he had an issue. And
We're almost ready to start
it
the
looks
race.
like
How
one of the
together this is
Ferraris
over.
didn't make it back into the lobby.
Their final preparations.
Systems such as ERS. 2019 Chinese GP was
Doesn't show that he's a driver at all, huh?
No, he didn't get back into the lobby, and they're just going ahead without him, unfortunately. So
Like, was he in the lobby and then they started it and then he just wasn't on the grid, or he just never?
I don't know
joined the
what
lobby
happened, to
there?
be honest with you.
Oh shit! What are we doing?
I guess we're just proceeding. Well, lap 1 of 35 about to get underway as the red lights come on. And they go off, and the field is on its way down the front straight here in Hungary. Sketchy Bull leading the pack from his pole position, takes a bit of a defensive action, runs into T1 easily. And we've got T-Ball moving up in the order into second place with Curtis and Gifted dropping. They're swapping positions and also dropping positions, but Gifted looks like he's taking it back again. We should stop focusing on Sketchy since he's in the lead already, and T-Ball's right behind him. It's not like he's running away with it yet, and in fact, T-Ball's cutting down the lead from 0.3 to under 0.2 of a second. He's coming into this chicane. Oh, these broadcast views just keep changing at the wrong time. Terrible angles. What is going on here? But we still have T-Ball in the Aston Martin chasing down, and it looks like John Von Garbaggio and X hit the spot in the back, tangled up together. Let's take a look here. JVG in the Mercedes goes wide. Does he have damage? Yes, he's missing a front winglet. X hits the spot, also missing a front winglet. So that's our early action at the back of the pack. Lap 1 is about to finish off here with Sketchy in the lead by 0.4, and T-Ball in hot pursuit. Slight gap opening up. Gifted has regained positions into third now, but he has fallen to a second behind T-Ball, and Curtis Chaos continues to tumble down the order, and JVG gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I know he's not going to be very happy about that at all.
Oh shit! Oh my god!
Who's that in the back there? 55 Cent in the Aston Martin. Looks like he's going for a spin. Meanwhile, up front here, we're still watching T-Ball trying to stay within that 1 seconds, so that when they open up DRS here, when they finish off lap 2, do they get the DRS? Does the DRS detection occur for both the front straight and after turn 1 before the lap is finished? Or is there a second detection zone for that second DRS zone? Do you know?
Are you asking if once the DRS is initiated, do they get the first two zones? Because the answer to that question is no.
Ooh, T-Ball just set a fastest lap. And he's closing in. So let's see. Okay, so my question was, yeah, okay, so no, he does not get DRS in the second detection zone. But I think that's because there's only one, or sorry, one DRS. There's only one detection zone for both DRS zones. I think that's what the way it is in Hungaroring. So yeah, so he's going to have to wait until the end of lap 3. He's got to hold on. Right now, he's within 3-4 tenths of a second and keeping that fight going. Meanwhile, Gifted is dropped back. And I think he's already out of DRS on T-Ball. So this fight right now is between Sketchy and T-Ball. Now, what I haven't taken a look at yet is what tires are people on. Oh, well, this explains everything. T-Ball's on mediums. He started on mediums. The rest of the top 6 are on hards. So he's definitely got that pace advantage, but Sketchy, can he hold him off? Why is he not using DRS? Oh, yes, he is. Yes, he is. What am I talking about? In the inside into turn 1, makes it nice and clean. Takes the lead, continues with the DRS, and let's see how much he can pull away from Sketchy on the softer yellow compound.
Oh, shit.
Who do we got? Position. Oh, Curtis, Chaos, Scarthurs, Logical Terror, and do we have a virtual safety car? Virtual safety car. So that's going to help out guys like John Von Garbaggio and X Hits the Spot. Because now the pack is going to get... Well, actually, it won't bunch up. And Logical has no front wing. And he's got a long ways to go before he gets to the pits. It's very likely that he's going to lose multiple positions here. Well, I guess he can't lose that many positions. Because JVG and X are they're still in Sector 1. So, oh, his Logical is in the dirt and spinning around. He is not having a good day in Hungary. This is not the performance Logical would have wanted. That is 100% facts. So, hopefully he can get his head down and get back into this. Virtual safety car continues. And Ivaz gets a drive-through for speeding under the VSC. So he is going to be mighty pissed, and that is going to obliterate his race here on lap 5. Brutal.
This almost off the track. He lets him back in. Good for you, buddy. Oh shit. Steven trying to get his nose in there. Like, let me get a sniff of that. But Evase says, nah, player. This is a two-man show here. This is just me and Evase.
So we're following along in this little mid-pack battle because there's about a half a second gap at the front. And with Ivaz having a drive-through to be served, he's trying to not give up any additional positions. He doesn't want to let Steven through. Kind number 4 behind Steven, having a bit of problems with the track limits there in that Ferrari. Still hunting down that final points position, as we mentioned earlier. And T-Ball sets yet another fastest lap.
So we totally missed that. T-Ball with the overtake on Sketchy. But
yeah, I did catch that. It was
oh, you did?
It was right before the virtual safety car. He had the DRS and he opened it up and made the pass nice and clean in turn 1, and he's been holding on to the lead ever since, and he's actually expanding it. He's up to 8 tenths ahead of Sketchy. But again, he still has that DRS advantage if he can get there, and he may be on hards. When do you think these softs are going to peak? probably about in the next couple
Well,
laps, don't you think?
The pre-race strategy says that they should come off the softs after 14 laps. But yeah, once you've reached half that distance,
Yeah.
you're starting to feel it.
Yeah, from there on in, it's downhill. So
Yeah.
we're actually
Now-
following on board with the Schmers right now in the Alfa Romeo, as he was put back into his proper car after the lobby reset. He's hunting down Italian, who is sitting in 5th place. So from 4th to 7th, there's a little mini DRS train happening here. The Schmers looks to the inside, but Italian goes inside as well. The two Haas's are ahead of the Alfa Romeo, no more, because the Schmers has made the move on Italian. Italian's going to try to take it back. It's got the DRS wheel. Oh, they go in, they touch. They get a little loose. The Schmers goes wide, gives him a bit of breathing room there, and has to cede the position back to 6th place. But nice work, gentlemen. You know, got a little dicey there, but they managed to keep it clean enough and not collect each other. Let's see if the Schmers can get back to fighting for this position here.
Look at
Vaz-
Logical Terror taking the fastest lap.
Oh, did he? Look at that. Nice work. And he's on the mediums. And we missed Ivaz pitting for his drive-through. So he's now in 14th place. Logical is in 17th place. And X is in 18th. And from, I'd say, what is that? 12th, no, 13th down, the field is pretty spread out. But the midfield, from like 10th to 1st, there's like little bunches. And we've got the Schmers trying to take him on the outside. Once again with a move on Italian. Is he going to make it stick this time? This is the same corner where they touched before. Nice and clean this time. But does Italian have the switchback? He's right on the Schmers' ass. They touch. They go a little bit. I think Italian recognizes he kind of gave him loose. What a save by the Schmers. That is fantastic driving. Excellent work. I don't know if you caught that, Massive, but that was fantastic. And
What?
Props to Italian. He let him have the position back. He didn't overtake him because he could have easily done so. But
Yeah, I was actually following along with Steven and kind number 4 having a pretty nice little battle. But completely unrelated note, this T-Ball 2000, T-Ball Tony, where did he come from? Is he new to the grid this season?
Yeah, well, he joined the league late last season, and he had some outings. He's, he had to do a little bit of work on his racecraft. It wasn't terrible, right? But I mean, I think he would. There was a couple of guys that joined late last year, and they were like, "Yeah, we're fast, but got to figure out how to not spin." And obviously, the new game has helped a lot of people, so I'm sure it's helped them out. But T-Ball definitely has had at that speed, so I'm not entirely surprised. But I'm excited to see that he's in a full-time seat, and we could have like a serious challenger. Now, as far as the standings go, he didn't have a great race last week. He came in 14th. So it was, no points there. But today will make a huge, huge difference. He'll be right there in the top 5, I think, depending on how everybody else shakes out.
Well, let's just give this the Disney fairy tale touch. Let's just say T-Ball last year, he was drizzling shits, and he's turned it around. That's not necessarily true, but it just makes his story shine all that much more.
The Sketchy's not giving up, though. He's still within DRS attack range. He's staying close to him on those hards. You got to hand it to Sketchy. I mean...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wait a second there. T-Ball just lost it. What did we say
T-ball
about that?
Tony.
What were we saying about
Sing
that
your
peak?
praises.
That peak? Those yellows? I think it just hit him. I think it just bit him in the ass. And Sketchy says, "Thank you very much. I'll take that." And has opened up a 7/10 gap on T-ball. At Gifted, who is 5 seconds away on Hards as well. It'll be interesting to see if he can now start to close that gap before T-ball has to pit. T-ball's probably got about another 4 or 5 laps to pit.
While we're watching the action unfold, I'd like to give a shout out to Mr. Heat Gang. He qualified P5, and then, well, that's it. He just qualified P5. He didn't make it to the grid.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm gutted for Mr. Heat Gang, not just because he's my Ferrari teammate, but I think he's got some potential, and he had the opportunity to race today, and I think he would have done really well. So I wish we had an opportunity to fix that, pal, but you know, we'll make sure. I'll do what I can to make sure that you get a seat next week, no matter what, and we'll try to avoid these problems until they fix this goddamn game. But yeah. Massive, we're lap 11. We're about, what, a third of the way through this race. And we don't have a single DNF. We've only had one virtual safety car. And,
no, we've seen a couple of wrecks, a couple of close calls where I thought we might see a retirement, but surprisingly not.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, now is the time I get the message saying my batteries are going to die. So it's a good thing that my headset cable is pretty long. So
while you're fixing that, Mr. Heat Gang, I'm sorry, we'll send you a bag of Sun Chips. Just give us your address. I hope Harvest Cheddar is okay. That's all I've got. I'll send it to you.
Isn't that the OG Harvest Cheddar?
I think so. Safety car is out. What's going on?
Oh, what happened?
Who caused it?
How did that
Totally
happen?
missed it. I was watching the battle between T-Ball Tony and Sketchable. Armor Target goes into the pit, and he gets a drive-through in doing so.
Oh, terrible.
Wait a second. No, he already had a drive-through. He just passed us the pit. I'm so lost. Let's see. Let's take a look at the race director real quick. Maybe I can pop something up here. Harmless target, speeding under safety car. I don't see any contact warnings. I think somebody might have just lost it on their own.
All right, I'm going to switch controllers before this battery dies, so I'll be back in a moment.
The Discord harmless target says, whoever the F cut the track. Thank you, period. I really appreciate you committing to the pit lane at the proper time. We'll find out who that was after the race. As of right now, though, safety car, Aston Martin's out there doing its thing. Is it the Aston? No, it's the Mercedes. Yay, the faster of the two cars. So Harmless is definitely the big loser in this because now he has to serve a drive-through penalty as everybody continues to queue up behind the AMG. Curtis Chaos all the way at the back, our favorite independent wrestler, evades the whole effing show. JVG X hits the spot, your winner of last week's race, and it could be predicted probably not the winner of tonight's race, as long as he's all the way back there anyway. 50 Cent, a long way off the pack. Logical Terror might still be your fastest lap holder. I can't tell from my view right now. We'll circle back though. Scarthers, who started all the way in the back up to P12. Everybody's favorite 10-year-old, Capacity Rex, I'm just kidding. He's not 10. He's like 12. Harmless Targets has dropped back. What? Oh, he served. No, he did not serve his drive-through. He can't under a safety car. Maybe he thought he could and went in and found out the hard way. That don't work, player. T-Ball Tony was your race leader for much of the race. Now sits in P9. Let's take a look at the tires, shall we? Let's shall. He's now on the hards. He's going to finish the race out on this set. The hards, by the way, dreadful tire to be on this track. But much like LeVar Burton, don't take my word for it. Sketchable up to P8 after he makes the pit onto the mediums. He's going to try and stretch those out, presumably, until the end of the race. He's got, what's 35 minus 13? 22? Holy shit, that's a long time to be on the mediums. But if anybody can make the mediums last that long, I'm sure it's Sketchable. Step Hen, 1 lap old mediums. Kind number 4, our favorite French Mademoiselle on the hards. Wannabe, also on the hards. Italian up into P4 along with his Haas teammate SRT Silent 135. And Gifted, who started the race P2, I believe, then dropped back into P3. Now he's in P1 on some fresh meads. Let's take a look at the chat. We're into Discord here.
All right, I'm back. I've been actually chatting for about a minute, and it turns out I'm not here. I was muted this whole time. But anyway, I'm back. Yeah, Harmless is very, very upset, and I think he has every reason to. I really hope he was able to get a clip of that, because I did not see what happened there. I don't know what brought out the safety car even. I see... Yeah, I have no idea. But I hope Harmless got a clip of that, and we'll see a ticket on that soon, and hopefully fix this business. But meanwhile, the safety car is coming in this lap, is it not? And Gifted is in the lead.
Wait a second.
What's going on with the game?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is 50 Cent 55 also... No, he's not. Never mind. Forget I said anything. What are we doing? What is this? Are you seeing this?
Safety cars on broadcast?
What? What? Is that is that in the settings?
It's not supposed to be. Well, yes, there's settings to put the safety car on broadcast, but
it is on broadcast.
It's not supposed to be. It was supposed to be turned. It's supposed to be an immersive, not broadcast.
Somebody done fucked up.
Yeah. Well, Gifted says it was unimmersive.
It's not. Well, it's not.
When you go into the settings, you see it. Otherwise, well, this is some wild shit. Let me tell you. But safety car in this lap, right? Is the safety car in this lap? Like,
yeah.
So
safety
here we
car,
go.
No, wait. Safety car is in, but holy crap, Gifted's so close to it.
Yeah, I know. Well, because it's an AI, right? He's only going to be able to take control of his car now, because I'm still in this broadcast mode. I don't have any graphics on my screen anymore. I have no idea what's going on. But who's that?
Hit the bumper buttons.
No,
Does that work?
No. I mean, I could switch people. I could press pause. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, all right.
There we go. Okay, we're back in business. Sorry about that, everyone. Yeah. That's weird. I don't remember turning that off, so I wonder if when it went into broadcast mode, if it turned it off, and then I had to go and press Y again. So, but in any case, we're back in action here. Lap 16. The Gifted is in the lead. The Schmur's in second place. Silencer in third, and the reserve seat filling in for the absent Haas driver with his teammate Italian in fourth. Everybody pit on the safety car with the exception of Logical, who's currently on 11 lap old yellows. Oof. And X hits the spot.
Oh shit.
Oh, what's happened in the back now?
I
Oh,
believe
silencers.
we just saw contact between X and I think it was Evase.
Vase is in last, so
Yeah,
and
he's got no wing.
He started this lap. Gifted has just taken fastest lap. Before I had my controller issues, massive. There, you were saying you think Logical had fastest lap. He did have fastest lap until Gifted just stole it just now. Now that's fresh.
You son of a bitch.
That's fresh yellows, and Logical's on yellows. But I wonder, do you think Logical's going to try to stretch these out, and can he go on a set of reds, or is that way too ambitious?
Oh no, that's not happening.
No. So he's going to have to go back onto mediums, and that's going to suck. Or not, or hards. Unless he has a set of mediums, he could do another set of mediums. Actually, that would be the wise decision to make.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the gap between Gifted and the Schmurs has opened up to 8/10, with Silencer closing the gap between him and the Schmurs, and his teammate 8/10 behind him, who's being hounded by Sketchy Bull. In 5th place, we've got McLaren in the back, Curtis Chaos in trouble, tumbling down the order into 17th place, and yet no DNF. So
He does have a broken right end plate. So
Curtis does.
yeah, definitely.
That's not gonna do well for him at all. Where did T-Ball end up in this shuffle? He's in 7th now.
Yeah.
With hard tires. That's gonna be a bit of a challenge, especially with Steven in the McLaren right on his arse. I'm gonna try to follow along this battle here, but the broadcast mode has gotten worse in this game this year. Massive. I don't like it.
I don't even bother with it. It's so finicky. And as much as I do like some of the views that they offer, as soon as they have one that you like, it's like, boop, you change it to one that you don't like. So
yeah. Well, I'm following along with T-Ball because he is hunting down Watan in the other Alfa Romeo. His teammates in 2nd place. Still within DRS range of Gifted, but continuing to fall back. And meanwhile, the gap between the Schmurs and Silencer, it's actually staying steady. But meanwhile, T-Ball going on the inside of Watan into turn 1. Nice clean pass. Watan's trying to fight the switchback. They are side by side. Ooh, let's see what happens. They get real close to touching, but he backs off going into, what is that, turn 3? 1, 2, 3, yeah. And he looks like he's got that position locked up. Makes the nice pass, moves into 6th place. Meanwhile, the next one, and Watan just picked up a 3-second penalty for track limits. That might be... Oh no, that's not. That's only the 3rd track limits penalty we've had in this race. That's saying a lot. Now we've had speeding in the pit lane, and oh, who is that? Silencer is out of the race, and we've got yet another safety car. Whew. I don't know if there was an entanglement there, or he lost it on his own. T-Ball has now picked up a drive-through penalty for speeding under the pit lane. And the hits just keep on coming. T-Ball and Italian get a drive-through.
this is exactly what X needs, because his race was falling apart quickly, and having 6 seconds and penalties doesn't help, but at least now he's going to be closer to the pack.
No, now he's moved up to 15th as it is right now. Where is he with tires? He's on 17 lap. I mean, he should be pitting right now, don't you think? Oh, he is pitting. What am I talking about? He is pitting right now in 15th place to get rid of those old, used, hard and get on a fresh set of yellows to last them the remaining 15 laps. It'll be a bit of a stretch at the end, right, Massive? It's going to be a challenge to keep those tires working well, but keep it going.
Yeah, I bet anybody that went onto the hards for their second stint is probably like, oh man, what a waste.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
already
exactly.
not a competitive tire as it is around this track.
Now, in the shuffle that I just missed, or during this shuffle, and what I missed here is that the Schmers is now in first place.
He did it.
T-Ball in second place, and Waton in third. Now, both of them had 3 seconds penalties. No,
Schmers-
T-Ball has the drive-through. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
so, I mean,
Schmers is on
he's
8-lap
hosed now.
old hards.
Yes, he is.
He is not going to want to stay on those. He thinks he is. He's enjoying this P1 behind the Mercedes. He's like, ooh, look at me. He's going to find out the hard way. That wasn't the way to go. I hope he proves me wrong. But
So what is the
9-lap old
spell
hards.
for the standings here? As we are, see if I could do some math here, Massive. X hits the spot right now. He's getting no points. But Curtis, as it stands, isn't getting any points either. So it's most likely Sketchy, who's in 8th place. He's probably going to pick up some points to get into second, maybe even third. But the Schmers is in 4th place in the standings. And if he pulls out a win, I mean, that's going to be huge.
it would be.
Gifted is also lined up, and Revokes is actually absent today in the
Revokes.
Haas. That's why Silencer was in the second Haas seat today. It was in 6th place in the standings. He's most certainly, obviously, going to lose a lot of those places. So it'll be interesting to see how things pan out here.
T-Ball.
Oh, here we go with this.
T-Ball and Italian going to have to serve drive-throughs, so
Yeah.
counting them out for a win, at least at this point, unless we see another safety car.
Yeah, unless something absolutely bonkers happens. Some massive wreck on the restart, and then a bunch of people get murdered. I mean, it's possible.
Especially the way
But-
this race has been going. This is safety car number 3.
Yeah, this thing's been kind of going nuts, but haven't seen any incidents submitted yet. Meanwhile, but I mean, I suppose only one person is out of it. Everybody else is still busy trying to get some points here.
Now,
Safety car
here's-
in this lap.
Here's a question for you. How has this version of the safety car, the broadcast, how has that changed things? Because what we see is what they see, right? Like they can't do anything once they're in that mode.
When it's time for a restart, they get put back into their cockpit, and then you'll get the green lights. You know how they do that with like the
But if
challenges
they
and stuff
wanted,
like that.
if they wanted to pit, they can't.
They can't. Yeah, they can't until they do that, exactly. So I'm following along with T-Ball, who's going to have to take a drive-through, and he's actually... What is happening here? Are we got cars out of sequence here? I thought this game was supposed to unlap cars too, but I guess maybe not. That's Harmless Target. That's who that is. So between Watan and T-Ball is Harmless Target. Who's probably getting like flashed a bunch of blue flags. And remember, Harmless is pretty pissed because of somebody did him dirty in the pit entry there.
Yeah. Look at 50 Cent racing sketchable hard. He's got to give the position up though. He's like, I couldn't do it. Couldn't hold on. So Harmless Targets. Okay. He's all the way at the back.
Yeah, he's in last place, 17th. Logical, by the way, moved into 10th place.
Yeah.
But we do know that he's going to have to pit.
Oof.
Oh no, wait a second. Yeah, he's on 4-lap old mediums. He's going to be struggling at the end, but you know what? I think he can stretch those out. If he could stretch those out and stay in the top 10, that'd be fantastic. I mean, right now he's 4/10ths back of capacity. In fact, we've got quite the tight pack from first all the way to 10th. All within roughly a second of each other, all the way from first to 10th. So now T-Ball is over a second behind the Schmers. Sketchy Bull has now passed Steven in the McLaren and immediately pulls away from him. And he's got 1.2 seconds to catch to Watan, who's got a 3-second penalty. Curtis is just not having a good day in Hungary. Disqualified from session.
Oh.
T-Ball is out of this race.
T-Ball,
because
Tony, how could you?
He did not serve his drive-through penalty. Absolute madness.
I'm keeping my eye on the Discord, waiting for that angry message.
Well, it sounds like Curtis is very upset about it. About the settings being incorrect. Sketchy. I'm just going to switch back to the race here because I'm following Sketchy, who is all over the back of Watan. He is just... Oh, and I mean, he's going to make an easy pass right here. Well, maybe not so easy. Watan actually is fighting. He's not letting Sketchy go. Sketchy... Ooh, they touch front wheels and Sketchy goes around it. That's the end of his race.
Oh,
Sketchy
Lord.
and Watan are out of this race, and we have a virtual safety car. Both drivers tangling up, and that's the end of that for those two. So Sketchy's championship bid has taken a massive hit. T-Ball's attempt has taken a massive hit. And we are now under a full safety car for the third time tonight.
Fourth time.
Is it 4 safety cars?
I think this is number 4. And you were talking about the Schmers. Well, now he gets a free pit. He gets to go in, switch tires. Wow. All right, so I'm keeping my eye on the Discord. I can't wait for those hot, fiery messages. It's Drive to Survive here tonight at Friday Night Live.
This is some crazy shit. Sketchy Ball currently holds the fastest lap. And of course, if he keeps that, then he is, that point is going to be thrown away. Sketchy and Watan are very upset with each other. Both believe they are in the right.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to let the stewards decide that one.
I
don't know, Massive. Were you
that
watching
battle.
when that happened?
No. I figured that was one that you had your eyes on. So
I did. I definitely had my eyes on it. We caught the actual collision in DNF from Sketchy's POV. So,
what did you see? Any early judgments you want to make, or we'll wait until this one ends?
Well, being part of the stewards team, I'd like to see everything involved. Initial reaction is it could very easily have gone either way.
Now, I am hearing, I'm here on the streets talking with some of the racers. Apparently, Wannabe does need glasses. There's a report that maybe he needs glasses.
Yeah.
So
what the hell is the
he
Schmers doing? The Schmers has not pit yet.
He didn't pit. What are you doing, brother? You had this one in the bag, dog. Well, not
Italians in
in
the pits.
So Wannabe, Possibly needs to make a visit to the lens crafters. Might not have gotten the prescription right. You know, it's hard to say. Sketchable though, not nice words. Oreo's got his popcorn out.
Yes, yes. I mean, this bunches up the pack again. Italian is on fresh. Well, look at this. The entire back of the field from 9th to 14th are all on brand new soft tires. Steven gifted 55 cent, Curtis, Scarthers, and Italian. Curtis still has a chance to redeem himself here. And we go into broadcast mode again. So fun. So fun. Yeah. I'm a little shocked that the Schmers didn't pit. Kind number 4 is in second place. And Logical Terror in third place. Right now, fighting for a podium with 8 laps to go. Safety car in this lap.
He does not go in. He stays out. We got one more lap.
Sorry, so yeah, not yet. Safety car will come in after this new lap is started. Most likely. That's how the broadcast version of this.
Now here's a question, just kind of, you know, stepping away from the hot stove here. How does F1 determine which safety car they use between the Aston Martin and the Mercedes?
That's a great question, and I don't have the answer to that, but that's a fantastic question. It's got to be some sort of arrangement, right? Where
yeah, it's got to be because they don't alternate races. It's not like you get this one, I get that one, you get this one, I get that.
Yeah,
there's more to it than that.
All right, well, here we go. Green flags. The race is back underway with the Schmers in first place. Kind number 4 in second. Both of them on 17-lap-old hard tires. They're going the distance on these. A 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags to Steven. So how many penalties does X hits the spot has? He has 6. He's in 7th right now, but I mean, he's gonna fall out of the points unless a big gap is opened up. And he's on old mediums, and he's got Gifted on softs and Steven on softs, even with a 5-second penalty. Both of them are probably going to take him over easily.
The safety car is both a blessing and a curse for X because, he gets to catch up to everybody. But now, as long as everybody stays within 6 seconds, he finishes dead last.
Yeah. Except now the 55 cent in the Aston Martin spun himself around in the second to last hairpin. So now he's dropped back about 6 seconds. So X may not end up in last place, but it's not looking good for points to kind of boost up his championship hunt here. So Fiddy is still having a number of problems with that Aston Martin back there. Everybody in the front, 1st to 13th, they're very closely tight packed together. We're following along with Logical and the AlphaTauri, who is on medium tires, 10 laps old. Kind number 4 is on hards, 18 laps old. So I'm thinking it's just a matter of time before...
Oh, shit.
X hits the spot, by the way, has dropped to 9th place. Gifted and Steven have now passed him. And Italian...
No. Oh, no! Oh, no! He's getting spun
What's
around.
going on?
He's in the grass.
Italian, Evaz, both having issues. Italian's off the track. Evaz is spun around and trying to get right way forward. How much? Oh, and Evaz is missing a whole front wing. And Italian, what kind of damage does he have? 55 cent is retired from the race.
50 said, fuck it.
Yeah, he did. He
just
did say, he said,
retired.
fuck this. I'm out. Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
An Italian misses the
Going
pit
at the
entry.
pit.
Oh, no. He
Oh.
needed a front wing fix, and he misses the pit entry. Ivaz makes it into the pits, though, to get a new wing. Let's go back to the front and see how things are going here. Kind number 4 is within DRS attacking, but Logical is even closer. And Italian has DNF'd. And Ivaz has DNF'd. So what you said is correct, Massive. X hits the spot, is in last place.
Last place, and on the flip side of things, we're looking at the Schmurz Kirsch, who is 1.2 seconds ahead on 19 lap old hards.
I know. It's
Who
wild.
would have thought it? Capacity's out. What
Absolutely
happens?
wild. Capacity is out. Holy shit, man. Fiddy is gone. Capacity
Whoa.
is out. We started with
What?
20. We restarted with 18. We're down to 9. John Von Garbaggio is out. What is happening? And then we got this crazy second, third, and fourth battle on the front straight. Logical makes the pass into second. Gifted says, thank you very much, Ferrari. I'll take that as well, and I'll go in second instead. So Gifted in softs has taken second place, 1.2 seconds behind the Schmurz on old tires. Massive. I don't know where to go anymore.
I don't either. I was pulling from Oreo's popcorn bucket, but it's all empty. Everybody's been dipping their hands in
It
there.
is all empty. It's madness. Whew. Okay. Compose myself. Let's talk about it. The Schmurz is in the lead. He's only his lead is now cut down to 0.3 of a second. Gifted is on 6 lap old reds, and the Schmurz is on 20 lap old hards. Unless there's a massive mistake here, Gifted's going to take that lead. I mean, he's like riding the gearbox of that Alfa Romeo that the Schmurz is desperately trying to hold on to that first place, but I mean, it's not going to last. Here he goes, Gifted on the inside in that Mercedes into turn 1 nice and cleanly, easily makes the pass. The Schmurz has no chance of trying to get back at it. He's going to have to now worry about Logical Terror in front, behind him on mediums, olds, but definitely better tires to be on than those hards. Well, I don't know, actually. What do you think, Massive? 13 lap.
The game says the mediums, you're looking at 20 to 21 laps. So I think Logical's okay. The mediums hold up pretty well here. And the hards on a track like this is just not, I mean, far from ideal. So
Yeah.
it was a huge gamble to stay on those in the first place.
I mean, and then, hey, look at this. Who's in 4th place?
Oh, it's our favorite independent wrestler, Curtis Chaos.
Kind number 4 has dropped to 5th place. So top 5 for the Ferrari if he can hold it out on these last 2 laps. But I mean, Scarthers and that Alpine on reds, no less. I mean, he's not scoring any points for the team because he's a reserve driver for Alfa Romeo, actually. So, but he's hunting down the Ferrari and trying to get in there. So Gifted is now in the lead. The Schmurz still fighting off Logical. I don't know how much longer he's going to be able to do it. I think Logical's going to take it right here on the outside. Inside, they are very close to touching. The Schmurz has to go a little bit wide. Good job on not getting fucked up in there. You're just going to have to let that position go and really hope that there's not enough time for Curtis Chaos to be able to close that 1.4 second gap. And who has the fastest lap now? Steven.
It's our favorite barn resident.
In the McLaren. Massive, there's been so much action in tonight's race. We have a lap and a half left, and we have not once Spoken about baked goods.
We didn't have any time to.
I know.
These guys just kept us so busy.
It's mental out here. So we're following along with the Schmers because Gifted has a healthy 2-second lead on Logical on those fresher soft tires. I think Logical will be happy to be. Oh, look at this! The Schmers saying no. What? I don't want to let that go. But I mean, he goes wide and Logical takes the switch back easily. Oh! Into the wall.
The Schmers. He just pushed it too hard for too long on those hards.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, he did.
That's an easy podium for Curtis.
Yes. Easy podium for Curtis. Kind number 4 is going to be out of position, but at least a 4th place for the Ferrari. And look at this. Reserve driver, former FNL full-time driver, Scarthers. Now, well, he's now in Alfa Romeo, but subbing in the empty Alpine seat. In 5th place, a top 5 finish for an old school Friday Night Light drivers. Yeah, you know what I mean.
If I recall correctly, he started dead last, so I'm sure he's going to be voted the game's driver of the day. I don't know if he would be the fan choice, but just based on positions gained, for sure.
Yeah, would he be the fan choice? He was in 19th place on the grid, 2nd last.
I'm gonna go with X. He's my driver of the day. After all he went through,
he's in 8th place. Hey, you know what? I remember seeing something from one of these esports drivers, and they said, by the way, the race is over. Gifted is won. Logical is in 2nd place, and Curtis Chaos is in 3rd. So there's your podium for tonight. Steppen pulled out the fastest lap with the Reds. Whew. My, oh my.
Ooh, I got my first achievement for the newly downloaded F123.
There you go. Wow, what a race, Massive. Full of action. So, you know, last week, the new, I hate that emotion. Stop that. Stop using that. That's stupid. Podium celebration is what I meant to say. Last week we had 0 safety cars, 0 virtual safety cars. On Tuesday for Tuesday Night Challengers Round 1 in Silverstone, 0 safety cars, 0 virtual safety cars. WTF, I'm pretty sure also 0 and 0. Well, tonight, much different story. I think we had 2 different VSCs at least. How many safety cars now? 4, 5? Like, that's just...
I believe it was 4. I think so.
And, oh, look at that. The incidents actually work now, but this is going to be a long one to scroll through. Here we go. Well, we got that at least for there. Yeah, Gifted takes the first win of the season in round 2. Logical in 2nd. Curtis Chaos in 3rd. It was a wild race. We had 9 DNFs. Absolutely mental. I don't know. I just don't know. Scarthers is your driver of the day according to EA Codemasters. Whew. What a race. Donut's going to be pissed he missed this.
Yeah, for sure. Are we bringing anybody in to...
Well, you know what? We should get Gifted in here. Let's get Gifted in here, you know?
We should get Wannabe and Sketchable.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Let's not do that.
Party. Yeah, no, let's not do that. So here he is, the man of the hour, surviving the carnage. Congratulations on your first win in season 23-1. Gifted.
Yeah,
Race.
that was a long race, especially that last restart, having to fight through 9 other cars.
Yeah, that was kind of nuts. We're also going to have to review some settings situations that we had tonight, but still, congrats on the win. It must be nice to take a one so early in the season and pad
Yeah.
that championship hunt. So
I got really lucky with T-Ball not serving a drive-through and then Sketchy not making the smartest of moves.
yeah, we're gonna have to see what happened with that, but that was you know, it boded well for you.
All I'm gonna say is that Sketchy was too impatient.
You
could
heard
be
it here
right.
first.
We'll see. We'll see what happens with the incident when it's submitted and all that stuff. I already see some coming through here. But yeah. Ola, indeed. Nice way to recover
What
and
is
come
up?
back into second place for a podium on the season. Good job.
Logical, let's go.
I know. Thanks,
Let's
man.
go.
That was honestly huge. I've had such a bad stretch of races since like June, like May. Like it's been rough. So nice to get a P2. The first time I stayed out, it kind of ruined everything, and I was kind of just stuck in the back. But then I stayed out again, and it ended up working out.
Yeah, I was a little worried about you staying on those yellows, but then I realized, well, I have confidence that you can stretch those out and make them work. So
Thankfully, like enough people stayed out behind me, so
yeah,
it was kind of like
definitely.
a buffer.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
Candy definitely gave me some problems, or else I could have probably had a quicker shot at Smoosh and maybe could have. I mean, I don't think I could have outranked Gifted. He was on fresh soft, so I think
Yeah.
P2 is obviously the maximum.
I
Oh,
have a
absolutely.
question. I have a question for both of you guys. What were your thoughts when you saw that the Schmers did not pit and stayed out on old ass hard tires?
If I'm being honest, I didn't notice until I got up to where Logical was and I could see him off the corner and he was still on hards. I was like, what? And then proceeded to do a double overtake on Logical and Noomba down that straight, which was pretty crazy, but
Did
I just
did
had a
y'all
good run.
catch did y'all catch my switchback on Schmooze Cruise?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, that
Oh,
was
man.
incredible.
That was one of my-
that was the overtake that I think if it was the one at turn one, that's the one where he lost it and put it into the wall. I think he was trying to get on the throttle too hard.
I just was like, I know he's just gonna go deep here, and I just broke so early and just swung it right in on the apex. So I carried so much more speed through. Awesome.
I had a couple of really good dive bombs in a turn one. That's probably one of my favorite places to overtake in this game. You can break really late and still get it stopped.
Amen.
Whew. But that was a
Well, that was
a race.
that was a race and a half, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
that was a good one.
There are some mistakes on my part on lobby settings, but I don't really think it hurt the race too much.
yeah, we'll have to sort things out, make sure we get that cleaned up for next time. But
I'm big anti-broadcast, but that's just me.
You're lazy.
yeah,
Or you're just annoying.
well, first off, safety cars broadcast is always a no.
That was a
right?
mistake. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was a
so,
that was a mistake. I
but
thought it
other
was
than
on,
that, I mean,
immersive.
I don't. Either way, on the formation. I hope they just fix the formation. Nice.
See, the way I've seen that glitch work, it's whoever messes up the lining. If you mess up the lining and your car reset, you're gonna get disqualified from the race. Because
yeah,
all
but
the
that's
people,
not
all the people that got
how it is
disqualified
in-
in that first start were all the ones that messed up the lining.
Yeah,
their grid
exactly.
box.
You're absolutely right. That's what's happening, and Massive and I were discussing that there. But that's not how it's supposed to work. Like if
No,
you
it's
screw up, if you overshoot your grid in the real world, you don't get disqualified. You just get a penalty that you have to serve during the race. And so, I'm confident that that's actually a bug. They're not trying.
Oh,
to
it is
do-
definitely a bug.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and it's unfortunate. So we'll just have to make sure no formation lap until they get that shit sorted out. So who knows whenever the hell that will be.
My vote's for broadcast. I like seeing who's on what.
Well, that's a good point.
On
I didn't
the
think about that.
formation lap.
Yeah, on broadcast.
Yeah,
formation
yeah.
lap.
I mean, I don't mind, and I do know we've tested it, and it does
We had it last week.
negatively impact the tires. So,
Nope.
yeah. So that's not an issue. But
And also, I noticed on broadcast safety car, you do not get tire wear.
oh, interesting. That's interesting.
Huh.
9 DNFs. That's some wild shit.
I know.
It all kicked off with silencer's crash, which I do know how it happened, but I'm not gonna say that on stream because it would be out of place. Even though it
All
is a very funny incident, but yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we'll keep an eye out for that.
All right, guys, I'm gonna hop off. It was
Yeah.
a good race.
Congrats on the podium, both of you. Congrats on the win, Gifted, and thanks for everyone. Thanks, Massive, for joining me, filling in for the absent Donut Puncher. And yeah, we'll see everyone again next time on Formula Worldwide Leagues. Our next race
Ooh, worldwide,
going to
Mr.
be-
Worldwide.
is going to be
Oh,
on
yeah.
Tuesday for round 2 of Hungary. But tomorrow we actually have our first exhibition race for the EU division. So I might even be able to jump in with the British lads or the European lads, and soon we'll be launching those Friday and Saturday European races. So
Exciting.
busy times,
nice.
busy times.
Very much.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. We'll see everyone next time. Have a good one.
Over and out.